Okay. Good day, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Fabulous Friday to one and all. Welcome to Singapore International Online English Toastmasters Club chapter meeting. According to Crossan, Gans, and Sajid, in 2012, when it comes to leadership, competencies determine what a person can do. Commitment determines what they want to do, and character determines what they will do. Tonight's meeting theme is centered around is character relevant to leadership? What do you think? Are you a character or do you have the character of a leader? I will leave it to you to ponder on that as we hear from our club president, distinguished Toastmaster Willie Low, with his opening address. Over to you, Mr. Club President.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmaster. Character is fundamental to effective leadership because good character builds trust. And without trust, people will not follow you. Without followers, obviously, one cannot lead. One way to define good character is to ask what makes a person trustworthy. As we always define that good character defines trust. So what makes someone trustworthy? They do what they say, they do it, they keep their promises, they deliver. Their behavior is reliable because over time they have shown consistent behavior and response to similar situations. They are truthful and deeply honest. They make well-considered choice by being open to consult and perspective of others. They are brave in that they always do what is right, even when it's hard. They look out for the common good rather than just serving their own desire. If you score yourself on the above behavior standards of good character, you likely did not hit a perfect score. Do not despair. Good character is more neutral than nature, said by John Maxwell, the leadership development expert. Identify 4 key building blocks to develop strong character: self-discipline and moral courage. To do what is right, even if you don't feel like it. To practice the self-control to balance your own desire with the needs of others and the courage. Also to face the fear, the risks and dangers of standing up for what is right. Core values. Values. A clear sense of value that guide your behavior every day. A sense of identity. Truly knowing yourself and your belief. The second standard of royal keeping if perfectly capture the concept. If you can trust yourself where all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too. Equality, the practice of aligning your action, feeling, and thoughts with your values. Good character is not just for the normal hunter, it is a choice, it's a fact, and it's a series of consistent choice through over a length of time. Our character is formed every time we face a defining moment that challenges us to sort through our core values and principles. If we are willing to use our self-discipline and self-control to try and do the right thing each and every time, really these defining moments over time. This decision will shape up our personal and professional identity. So character is not just thought. It's not just a matter of knowing who you are and what your values are. Your character, the balance of your values, virtues, and wise express itself through your action. And that is the foundation of leadership. In summary, character is an essential trait of leadership. Character builds trust and credibility, promotes loyalty, and as Fred Kill research for return on character. Proven even leads to an increased average return on assets. So intelligence, talents, and all those skill-based competency are irrelevant to leadership beyond character. That is also why the totally self-serving and talent may sometimes get ahead intentionally, but eventually not rise to the top as they are seen as untrustworthy and people will not follow them. However good they are, a U.S. Army General Norman strategist said, leadership is a polar combination of strategy and character. But if you must be out one, be out the strategy. Over back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Mr. Club President. Such words of wisdom from him. Words like integrity, being brave. Okay? Being brave means you do what is right, even though it may be hard. Keeping your promise, do what you say you will do, and your professional identity as well. In addition, I also agree with Van Camp, who said in 2017, when we talk about leadership development, it is quite often focused on people skills, communication skills, vision, intelligence, business acumen, and sometimes even boldness. Yet, none of this will make a leader without the foundational leadership quality of good character. What character traits do you feel define your leadership? Let's hear from some of our role players who will be supporting us with tonight's meeting. First up is the General Evaluator. Advanced Communicator Gold, Advanced Leader Bronze, District 80 S2 Area Director, Lee Chui Ling. Toastmaster Lee Chui Ling is a charter member and current president of Hong Kong North Toastmasters Club in Singapore. Her sister encouraged her to join Toastmasters to improve her English and confidence. She is a mother of 3 and loves brisk walking, traveling, as well as taking photos for memory. Toastmaster Lee Chui Ling, could you please tell us your role as the General Evaluator, as well as share with us what character traits do you feel define your leadership? Please welcome Toastmaster Lee Chui Ling.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. Thank you for having me here tonight. The general roles of General Evaluator is we will comment in general on all the proceedings and the conduct of the meeting. This is my definition. Okay. For the trait of leader in Toastmasters, I have the clue that the tag of the course that where leaders are made. Sometimes I ask, leaders are made. These leaders can be bad leaders, can be good leaders. In Toastmasters, it must be a good leaders because we are in a supportive environment, and we have to build to be a better leader, better leader, or best leader. So as for me, I never dreamed to become a leader when I joined Toastmasters. And I also, because my speaking skill is not good, and that's why my sister encouraged me to join Toastmasters, to improve English, to gain confidence. And for my experience as a leader now is that a leader must be determined what she wants to do and have a clear vision to go for it, to do. And what it is, that's why in the Toastmaster, it teaches us what is, as a leader, we must have a vision, we must have mission to strive on. So from this learning journey as a last turn, I find that leaders also have to be updated. For example, in this pandemic, COVID-19 pandemic, we thought that the membership fee is the date due is until 31st. But with this updated news from TI Toastmasters, it's just a magical that give to our club a breath of life that is extended to 31st of April. So I learned something from this as a leader. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Lee Ling. Wow, vision, mission. What about you? I will be asking you questions throughout the meeting as well. Our next role player is the R counter. Toastmaster Abdul Karimi is a member of this fabulous club, joining us all the way from New York in the US. Toastmaster Abdul Karimi, could you please share with us your role as the R counter and what character traits defines your leadership? Please welcome Toastmaster Abdul Karimi.
Yes, how you doing? Good afternoon, good morning, good evening to everyone. Yes, today my role is going to be counting you guys with R and, repeating the same thing again and again. That's my role today as an R counter. And as a leadership, I would like to say that a leader is someone that we all look up to because we can learn so many things from them. But becoming a leader takes a lot of hard work, dedication, persistence. What my experience to becoming a leader is through my work experience and family. People look up to you. You always have to be in a good example, and you have to be there for your teams, no matter what, in good times or bad times. And the way we always do it is the way we have to be consistent by reading books, by communicating with the leaders, like, for example, Master Willie, Miss Lee, Alicia. Those are the top leaders that we can definitely learn from each other. So always give your best as a leader, never give up, because you never know what you have in you. Always understand that anything is possible if you put your mind into it, and it's right to do what you have to do as a teamwork. Thank you. Back to you, Lee.
Thank you, Toastmaster Abdul Karimi. Yes, wow, I do agree. We learn from each other throughout our journey, whether it's in our professional life or our social life as well. The next role player is the timer. It's important for us to keep time. Please welcome Distinguished Toastmaster Li Shanshan. Distinguished Toastmaster Li Shanshan is a member of 3 clubs, Astro at Radimas, Topayo South, and this awesome club as well. She joined Toastmasters to conquer her fear of public speaking. She also can't wait to start traveling again. Distinguished Toastmaster Li Shanshan, could you please share with us your role as the timer, as well as the character traits that defines your leadership?
All right. Good evening, good morning, and whichever, depending on which time zone you are in. All right. For tonight's role, I will be keeping the time. So do look out at my screen. Once it flashes, it will means either it's time's up or times is going to be up. So just take note of it. So I'll be keeping time for the speeches as well as for the evaluations table topic. And the character that defines leadership for me, it's a combination of a lot of characters, but one that I relate most is reliable. Being reliable makes people comes to you more, because being reliable, they believe that you can complete the thing, they can have the directions, and you are there no matter the issues, or you are there for them and for the team as well. So that's about it. Thank you. Back to you, Lee Buckley.
Thank you, Distinguished Toastmaster Li Shanshan. So tonight, so far, we've heard words like being brave, keep your promise, integrity, be there for each other. But wait, there's more. Our next role player is the language evaluator, also known as the grammarian. Advanced Communicator Gold, competent leader John Tan is a member of Geylang Serai Toastmasters Club in Singapore. Toastmaster John Tan, Would you please share with us your role as the learning evaluator / grammarian, as well as the character traits that defines your leadership?
Evening, everybody. Evening. I'm the grammarian this evening, better known as the language evaluator. I would prefer just to be a grammarian because I would just like to comment on grammar this evening, if I may do so. The role of a leader is to do, not to lead. Because no one can be a leader if he's not prepared to do the things that the followers do. And all followers will not look up to the leader if the leader does not know what does it mean to be in the shoes of the follower. So to me, the leader is a person who does. That's all.
Thank you, Toastmaster John Tan. Would you have a word of the day?
Yes, I have a word for the day, but I would like to screen share. If I may have a chance to screen share, would you allow me to screen share? Someone has to allow me to screen share.
Yes.
Can I screen share now?
You should be able to.
All right, let me do that. Let me see whether I can get that done. Oh yes, I can screen share. Do you see it?
Yes.
Okay. Do you see the whole picture, everything? Plus the words on the on my right? Yes. Okay. The word of the day is bonanza. Can you see the name? The word bonanza, and that's a noun. And bonanza, the meaning of bonanza is a source of great and sudden wealth and luck, a spectacular windfall. So the example would be, if we are lucky enough to have John Tan as our language evaluator, we will surely learn many new words. So please use the word bonanza as a noun.
Thank you, Grammarian John Tan, for being our bonanza tonight in terms of learning new words. Yeah, it's such a great pleasure and bonanza for all of us to learn from all the other role players as well. Coming up next is Table Topics. Table Topics is a long-standing Toastmasters tradition to help members improve their impromptu speaking skills. It is now time to hear from you, members of the audience. Are you ready to take on our mighty Table Topics master and show us what you're made of? Give me the thumbs up if you're ready. Excellent. Sensational. I love the crowd here tonight. The Table Topics session tonight will be led by our very own VPE, Vice President Education and Treasurer, Distinguished Toastmaster Alicia Chia. Distinguished Toastmaster Alicia Chia is a happy-go-lucky person who enjoys life, aims to live life in the moment, create memories, as well as enjoy the journey more than the destination. Her hobbies include playing the saxophone, digital photography, sports, and being a tourist in her own country. In addition to being the Vice President Education and Treasurer of this fantastic club, she's also the immediate past president of Whampoa Toastmasters Club in Singapore. Distinguished Toastmaster Alicia Chia, what character traits define your leadership?
Thank you, Toastmaster Day, Lee Buckley. To me, I have a lot of people tell me that I'm trustworthy. They trust me a lot. That's why I'm in a VPE position, Vice President position. I'm always in the inner circle, be it with my clients, immediate family, and nonprofit organizations. I don't know why, but maybe I have the look of a trustworthy person. No, that's just a joke. Well, building trust, I would say takes a long while. Basically, people trust you. The reason they trust me is because I must have done a lot of actions that have built over the years, and they could see that they can tell me the deepest secrets, and they will lie with me or even die with me. I always tell people, it's okay, you tell me. I will protect your secret till my graveyard. Other than this trustworthy thing, I have another thing that I like to help my followers or people around me. As long as I can help, I will help. I will give them some help so that they can do their work easier. And because of that, the other leadership trait I have is, because of that helpfulness, it tends to bog me down. So sometimes it affects my reliability. I may not be there for you, or I may not be able to answer your calls. So please don't misunderstand me. But I do have one saving grace. When that dips down, I will always come back and make up for it. So that's another leadership trait, right, Dee?
Yes, that's right.
Break
Don't
my
worry,
promise,
I'll keep calling you.
if I break my promise, I'll come back the next time doing better. That's how I try to rebalance. So back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Alicia Cha. It is now time for table topics. Are we ready? Back to you, Madam Table Topics Master.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone. A fabulous, fantastic Friday to everyone. And I'm sure everyone is looking forward to table topic. This table topic is what Toastmaster of the day mentioned, that is a traditional segment of the Toastmaster program whereby I will come up with topics that you'll be surprised with. And so everyone will have to think on their feet. And when you're thinking on your feet, it helps you develop critical thinking skills. And it's so important, especially in this day and age, where if you meet your boss in the elevator, you surely need to start your elevator pitch within a minute or two. You can't be waiting half an hour to give your reply, right? So this segment will certainly help you. And since today's theme is about characters and leadership, I have gathered together interesting characters for everybody to enjoy. And the characters that I've come up with are animal characters. You know, during COVID-19, most of us turned into animals when we couldn't cut our hair. The animal instinct came out. And the real animals also came out because it was a jungle out there. The grass were not cut, the roads were not swept. So animals came out. And this time, I have 20 animals for everyone to choose from. And each animal have their different leadership trait that we humans also aspire to. Now, I will ask for a volunteer. Then I will show you the animal that you have selected, that you have been given. Any volunteers? Please type in the chat box for your name.
We have a volunteer, Madam Table Topics Master, Janet.
All right, Janet, very good, excellent. Just give me a minute and I'll show you the animal.
And just a point of clarification, Madam Table Topics
Yes.
Master, could you repeat the question, please?
Yes, I have not started the question yet.
Okay, okay, okay. It's a little
So hold
too
your
early.
guns. Give me just a half a minute. All right. As you can see, there's a tiger on my screen.
Okay.
The tiger is a symbol of power and energy all over the world. In fact, the tiger is the #2 animal after the lion, and is featured in Chinese mythology and takes the second place of the lion. So, my dear Janet, since it's a symbol of power energy, how do you think it relates to you and your leadership trait?
Madam Table Topics Master, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Ha, 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 ha! I am a 6th-degree black belt in karate, and I teach karate alongside my sister, the lion. She is athletic and sometimes places first in front of me in competitions. I, as the tiger, have to be crafty to reach her potential and to beat her in a tournament. We both teach karate to youth and to adults. We are in a powerful position because we are the highest ranking karate masters in our city. People look up to us for leadership, both the people we taught who are now black belts and the younger generation. We need to come from a place of power, of strength as role models, and as role models of integrity. We need to be diplomatic, listening to other people's viewpoints, taking into account their learning styles and their body types as we forge ahead teaching karate techniques to build people's confidence, to build their ability to defend themselves, and to build their character that is associated with the martial arts. As the tiger, I sit back and wait for those leadership opportunities to arise, for the moments when I could step in and help a student adjust the technique, for the moment when I could step in and assist a person with a personal problem in my inner circle or club, for the moment when I can lend a hand to the other animals that whom we are molding into future instructors. Madam Toastmaster, fellow guests, I am the tiger, the source of strength and leadership. Madam Table Topics Master.
Thank you, Janet. Thank you for showing us the tiger in you. I also have the tiger here. Now, next up, who is next?
Abdul Karimi, Madam Table Topics Master.
Okay, Abdul Karimi. Thank you very much for volunteering. Let me give me a minute
Sure.
and I'll show
Take
you
your time.
your animal picture.
No problem.
Now, Abdul, can you see a dolphin there?
Yes, I can see it nice and clear.
Okay, the dolphin is a symbol of salvation, transformation, and love. Now, Abdul, can you share with us how the dolphin relates to you in terms of leadership characteristic? Over to you,
Sure.
Abdul.
Okay. Dolphin is a very, very, very beautiful, amazing, very attractive. Everyone loves dolphins. They're so soft. They're so caring, so loving. Even the children get very attached to them. when the children, the kids from school, they go to the museums and trips and see dolphins, I can guarantee that they will never forget the experience. I remember when I was in school in 5th grade, when I saw a dolphin, I fell in love with it. It's just the way it moves, the way it connects with you, and the way it looks at you, and just gives you that good feeling, that love comes closer and closer to you. And I remember all the kids used to go like this, try to touch it. And the dolphins used to go like this all the way around, try to connect with them. Dolphins are the most amazing things. When they give you that connection, they just want to give you that time, that emotion, that feeling to do whatever they want to do. But at the same time, they're very brave and they're very protective. Surround them. As a dolphin, they are definitely brave, powerful, and they will protect you at all times. Something so cool about them is just that you want to have them in your own house and just play with them. Out of so many things in life, when you see a dolphins, you just have to say, this is the best experience ever in my life. Thank you. Back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Abdul, for sharing your memories of dolphin. In fact, I had a girlfriend who loves dolphin. I think she associated with freedom and love. Now, who's the next volunteer?
Devlina, Madam Table Topics Master.
Devlina, where is she? Oh, I see. Okay. Let me change the picture. Now, Devlina, do you see a cat?
Yes, I do.
Okay, the cat is a symbol for spiritual power, freedom, love of liberty, and even bad luck in Japan. The black cat is associated with cunning of evil in the Celtic world and damnatic deeds in the Islamic world. So what do you think the cat and how does it relate to you? And over to you, Devlina.
Thank you. A cat is one of the most domesticated animals in the entire world. Everyone loves cats mostly because they're extremely adorable, they're cute, they're pleasant to look at, and they're the fun little animals that bring joy to your life. So cat, according to me, is an animal that everyone just loves because they just express themselves the way they want. They never think about what others might think of them. What they want, they get. As I've heard in Egypt, cats were supposed to be the rulers of Egypt at a point of time because of the mice that inhabited the region. So they just have a quality of a queen or a king in themselves. So I think cats are they possess leadership qualities the most among all of the animals. It also descends from a series of lions, tigers. It's a feline. Moreover, cats are extremely fun to be with. They're cute, they're caring. Everyone loves cats. Even I had a cat when I was in grade 5. It was a white Persian cat and I loved it too much, but it ran away one day. Just because I don't know why it did, but it ran away one day. But according to me, cats are the most, they symbolize leadership. way too much, because if they want something, they get it. If they want something, if they want food, they will try their best in order to get that thing at the time that they want. Although they do care about others, but the thing that dominates cats as their personality, or the thing that dominates cats, is that if they want something, no matter what is going on, they try to get it. Moreover, cats are furry animals. Everyone loves cats. So if a person has a cat-like personality, that means that they're extremely lovable and people love to be around them. Thank you.
Thank you, Daphne, for sharing us about the cat leadership. Now, who wants to be the next volunteer?
We have Bonanza speaker number 4, Lisa.
Yes,
Madam Table
Lisa.
Topics
Okay,
Master.
very good. Where's Lisa? All right, Lisa, I will give you an interesting animal. Since we just had cats, we shall have
Dog.
yes, someone guessed dog. I will add a dog. Now, just let me look for my dog. Can you all see the dog? Can you see the dog? Yes, there's a dog there. Can you see? Okay, never mind. The dog is Toastmaster of the day has also shown us her dog. Well, the dog is a symbol of companion and guardian. Dogs are very positive. They are loyal, faithful, honest, and willing to fight for justice. Now, Lisa, do you have a dog within you, or others have the dog within them? Let's hear from you. Over to you, Lisa.
Thank you, Madam Table Topic Master, distinguished Toastmasters, fellow members, and honored guests. As to a dog, I had a dog a long time ago. Last time I had it was like 10 years ago, and it was a yellow lab. To this day, he still lives in my heart. My Max was the most loyal, like you said, guardian angel of my life. When I think of dog, it's not just the yellow lab that counts. It's the little dogs and the big, massive dogs. They're all in me, because I think as the environment change, as your leadership style develops, you are going to grow from whatever the dog you have in your heart to another dog to adapt the changes to your life. And at Toastmaster, I had grown for the last 4 years since I joined. And I can see myself growing from that timid, maybe even abused, so scared little dog to today that I have found my voice, I have faced my fears, growing from that little puppy, being fed and being rescued, to today's, like, I am no longer scared. I'm no longer being intimidated by the bullies, and I still need to face a little bit more when I meet the strangers in, new environment, but I can see myself no longer the one that has been intimidated, and I am growing inside me from that lab to another bigger dog. Back to you, Madam Table Talk Master.
Thank you, Lisa. That was very interesting sharing of how you've grown from a small dog to a bigger dog. Well, for me, I've been living with dogs all my life. When I was young and I stayed at my grandparents' place, I had many dogs. Dogs don't live long. So I had so many dogs. Now I have another dog now, and this dog is probably the most naughty one. When you scold him, he remembers, and he will bite you to come back to tell you that you shouldn't have scolded me. But then again, later on, he will come back to you and lick. So he's the most loyal better than human beings, sometimes I should say. So we all need to learn to be more a dog, not to be, to be like a slave, but more of the doggy leadership characteristics.
Now, who is the brave one to be the next volunteer? Because I have an exciting animal up ahead.
The lucky number 5 is Jade.
Okay, where is Jade? Oh, Jade lah.
Hi, Alicia.
Hi, welcome back.
Yeah, hi.
All right, I'm going to give you an interesting animal. Can you see the bat? Like Batman?
Yes.
Because we have been having all the gentle animals. So now I want to introduce a so-called evil animal symbol. And this is considered the most evil animal symbol. And bats are regarded as symbols of death, superstition, fear, night, and cult. They are often mixed up with witchcraft and occults in the Western folk tales. You'll be surprised, but Chinese, on the contrary, believe that a bat is a sign of happiness and good fortune. So we have the Western view and the Chinese view. The Africans and ancient Greeks believed it was a symbol of articulary. So what do you think, Jade? How does the bat relate to you or to others? Over to you, Jade.
Thank you, Table Topic Master, and hello, Toastmaster members and fellow guests. Thank you for giving me the chance to talk about such an interesting animal, and I hope that I can be as articulate as the bat. So let me try. I know of quite a few business people who are very superstitious. So it is of no surprise that they could embody some elements of the bat. And these people, they're as leaders, they believe in, I guess they take into consideration all aspects of their business, and they also take into, they also are concerned about spiritual aspects. So that part of the bat characteristic is seen in leaders, and maybe one day it will be seen in me as well. The bat is an interesting animal because to my knowledge, it cannot see. It cannot see, and it judges its surroundings by sonar waves, something like that, if I'm not wrong. So it actually sends out vibrations, and it receives feedback and senses its surroundings. So I think this is an important aspect of leadership, to be able to get a sense of the ground and not just see, but also not just see what is obvious, but also be able to sense what is in the background, the greater context of things, and to be aware in general. I hope that that is one of the leadership aspects that is present in myself, and I think that it's a very important one. That's all for me. Thank you. Thank you, Toastmasters, and back to you, Table Topic Master of the day.
Thank you, Jade. That was a very excellent definition of bats. I like the aspect that you said that leadership, the bats have this innate sense of feeling the ground. And this is a very important aspect of leadership. Something like a sixth sense. If you blindfold yourself, you have to use your other senses that you're given, like your hearing, your touch, your feeling. All this can come into being, and it's pretty useful. A lot of times we are too visual only. So when we are blindfolded, we really get lost. So we need to learn a lesson or two from the bats. But of course, we heard that the bat was the one that started the COVID-19, right? Poor bats. Now, we still got time for some more volunteers, right? Madam Timer, do we still have time? We still have, right? Okay. Who would like to try next? Anybody would like to try a brave animal? I will launch a brave animal for the volunteer. No longer evil animal, brave. Oh, so when I said bravery, everybody has hidden. All right, Pranesh, is it? Pranesh, would you like to try? Okay, I've chosen you because you look like a brave person. All right, I've given you eagle. Just give me a minute. The eagle is a symbol of power, action, speed, and perception. Eagles have the power, intuition, creativity, balance, and grace. Their vision is sharp, which gives them the ability to see the hidden truth and spiritual principles. The eagle has been adapted as an emblem round the globe. In fact, I have an eagle poster in my room that says, "Spread your wings, because you never know how high you can fly." So over to you, Pranesh. What do you think, or where do you think the eagle lies in you?
Madam Table Topics Master, I think Pranesh messaged that his mic was not working.
Oh, okay.
So he's very eager to try. Unfortunately, his mic is not working.
Okay, then we shall have the next person.
Remember, volunteer or you'll be voluntold.
Yeah. I will change the animal. Or if you still like the eagle.
You need a volunteer?
Yes.
Okay, I can.
Toastmaster Kanan.
I
All right.
get eagle, okay. Can I start?
Yes, you may start. Toastmaster Kanan, thank you. Over to you.
Madam Table Topics Master, fellow Toastmaster, and distinguished guests. Eagle, as the Toastmaster, as the Table Topics Master said, is the symbol of power. From the height of, say, 10,000 or 50,000 for 15,000 feet, it can clearly see what is happening. Even the tiny animal that is moving on the earth, it can see, and then it can come back and then grab it. What it symbolizes for Toastmasters. It says that we need to be very sharp in looking for the opportunities. Like eagle, when there is an opportunity to speak, you need to grab that opportunity by diving so fast and grab it. Like what I did today. Do not hesitate to speak in table topics. This is an opportunity for you to speak and then for you to grow. And our online club, Singapore Online Club, provides this opportunity. Grab it. Like the eagle, we can grow up to that height. So, fellow Toastmasters, once again, I want to request you, please utilize the opportunity to grab. Like an eagle, when it sees even a smallest opportunity, smallest creature, it jumps and takes it. We need to grab. So, once again, guys, this is an opportunity for you. Take it and grow like an eagle. Back to you, Madam Table Topics Master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kanan. I totally agree with him. Just be the eagle. Spread your wings, because you never know how high you can fly. And that poster was given to me by my dear father. He has been staying with me on my poster for so many years. So when I shift soon, I have to say bye-bye to it. I want to have new animals. I have to thank the poster for inspiring me to take on and learn more new things in my life. Otherwise, I would have been stagnant, right?
Yep. I really agree with you. That is one of the inspiration things what your dad has given.
Yeah, that was the best poster he given me.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, now I'm going to give another symbol, but this symbol is a very interesting animal that I'm sure everybody will love. So no longer evil, no longer fearful, no longer sharp eye, but something useful and rideable. Yes, rideable. Toastmaster Anand, would you like to try?
Okay, sure. I'll give it a try. Can you hear me?
Very strong.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
can you hear me
hear
now?
you now? Yes.
All right, okay.
Just give me a minute while I get your animal out.
So I just have to, is there a theme for today?
Yes, the theme is about characters. Is character important to leadership?
Okay.
Now, because of the theme is character important in leadership, I've used animals. Animals have been known to have characters of leadership in them. So today, I selected for you horses. Now, the horse is a symbol for velocity, vitality, and beauty. It represents the power of the wind, the storm, fire, and waves. So Toastmaster Anand, do you think you have the horse in you? Or have you seen it in others? Please share with us. Over to you, Toastmaster Anand.
Fabulous day, everyone. This is a very interesting topic. Now, many people, when they think about horses, they think about, like what our table topic master said, horses may be fast, beautiful, and elegant. Okay, and if I'm going to relate that to myself, I don't think I'm fast, elegant, and beautiful. But rather, I look at myself as one of those huge Belgian horses. Have you seen those draft horses? They can stand almost 6 feet high, on their shoulders, and they are normally used to plow the fields. Okay, now why do I feel that I look like that type of horse? It's maybe because I'm a workhorse. I'm the type of person where I will really trudge along, despite how difficult things get. I will always push on. Perseverance is one of my strengths, and I feel a horse like that has the perseverance to push on or to carry on no matter how hard things can get. So if that is a very interesting analogy. I would expect that maybe something else people would think of a horse in a different way, but when given this opportunity to speak about a horse, I'm surprised at myself that I would think of it in another way. So all in, I would like to conclude to say, yes, don't take it as a face value that horses can be beautiful, elegant, and fast. They can be also slow, strong, and tough. So I would like to symbolize myself as one of those horses. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anand, for sharing us that we can be more open and see the other side, other spectrum of horses. They are ugly and beautiful horses as well. Even if ugly, it's the inner beauty that counts, right?
Correct.
Yes.
Yes.
So we are talking about a strong, reliable Anand. Thank you, Anand. Now I seen that we have another volunteer, Vikari Vakanan. Okay, Vakanan, I will give you a interesting animal. Just give me a minute. What kind do you like?
I love all animals. So you can pick any and I will roll with it or run with it or swim with it.
Okay, I will give you a cunning one.
Or fly with it, as somebody is saying.
No, fly I have already. I give you a cunning one. Can you see
Well,
what
I
have
can't
for
see
you?
anything. That's what I was laughing about earlier on. Oh, I
Okay.
see a wolf in your face.
Yes, correct. That's a wolf. Right, just give me a minute. All right, the wolf is a symbol of cruelty, cunning, and greed in some cultures. Thus, others admire it because of courage and drive for victory. Our brief animal trip, so Vakanan, do you think there's a wolf element in you or in others? Please share with us. Over to you, Vakanan.
Is there a wolf in me? Well, if I roamed in a wolf pack, only they would be able to identify whether I'm a wolf or not. Coming to wolves, I think wolves are very smart. Why? Because if you look at how they hunt and how they go about their usual activities, they are actually very smart and cunning people. Now, for the American Indians, they consider wolves to be a sacred animal. If I think I'm correct on that, I could be wrong, but don't quote me on it. But coming back to a wolf story, when I think of wolf, all I can think is of Little Red Riding Hood. Anybody remember that story? Yes, no, okay. Well, it's all about a little girl going into the forest, going to her grandmother's house, and she crosses a wolf, and that wolf really wants to devour her. So he decides to run across to the grandmother's house and gets underneath the blankets waiting for her. If you haven't read the story, I'm not going to spoil the ending. I've just given you enough to just get curious. Go read it up, get to know. Or it could actually be that I haven't read that story for ages, so I no longer remember what it is, but I do. Now you'll have to just figure out which one it is. Now, is a wolf a character relevant to leaderships? Well, there's always one alpha wolf in any pack. So, depending on whatever the alpha wolf is, it can be an alpha male or it can be an alpha female. Whoever that is the one who leads the pack and the rest follow. Just like any society or any place, you'll always have an alpha somewhere in that hierarchy, and people automatically follow that person depending on a couple of qualities. One, whether they can portray good thinking, good leadership, and they have been able to make good decisions. If they've been able to demonstrate all those things, they go ahead and lead the group. And back to you, Alicia. Thank you.
Thank you, Vikanan, for sharing with us the wolf tales. But seriously, there's always a wolf in sheep's clothing in all of us. For me, I think sometimes I am a wolf at times. I'm greedy for success, greedy to help the club grow, positiveness. And also, sometimes people say, oh, you're very brave to do this. But I think if I don't try it, then when am I going to do it? So we do have sometimes the leadership traits of wolf in us, but it's okay. So long as you don't hide in the wolf in sheep's clothing too long and show out the positive aspects of the wolf. Now, I think we still have another 2 more to go. So who would like to volunteer next? Angela, okay, all right. I give you something interesting, Angela.
Thank you.
Just give me a minute, Angela. Now, Angela, what do you see in my screen?
I see a couple of big bulls or oxen or...
Okay, Angela, to help you, these are bulls. Okay, the bull symbolizes fighting ability and male fertility. What's more, the symbol of the bull stands for valor and magnanimity ever since the prehistoric times. So Angela, even though a bull is more male, can you tell us whether you have any bull leadership qualities in you or others around you? Over to you, Angela.
Thank you very much, Alicia. This is a very challenging question because the modern fashion is to tell us that we must all be democratic and listen to everybody in the group and hear their opinions. And my favorite story is the one from Anand when I was worrying about what to do when I was a president. And we had disagreements. Half the people wanted one thing and half the people wanted another. And should I go with the senior member who wanted to hold things the way they were, or to go with the younger newcomers who wanted things to go differently? And I'd asked everyone's opinions and I knew what I wanted to do, and I didn't know how to go about getting what I wanted done. And Anand said to me that the way to do this diplomatically is to tell everybody that you've heard all their opinions and listen to all their opinions, and finally, on balance, you come to a particular decision, and that as the leader, you have to make the decision, because we've seen it happen in many situations that no decision is reached because people can't agree. And this happens on a massive scale. I understand that the Israeli government finds it enormously difficult to reach a decision because they have proportional representation. And therefore, instead of having the Singaporean system where you get one party in and that's it, which is my favorite system, and then you have the British system where you have two parties, and one party that's in and the other party that says they're doing it all wrong, which is what you have in America in the lead up to the election and all the way through. But I like Anand's system, which is you come in and you say, I've heard everything everyone has said, and now I've made this decision, and that's it. So there we are. I would be a bull. Thank you.
I think we are come to the end of the table topic segment because I'm told we are run out of time. I hope that everyone had a good time, and I know the topics I've given are bonanza topics, challenging, and I'm sure everyone enjoyed as well. So can the timer let us know the timing for all the speakers?
All right. For Janet, the timing is 2 minutes 18 seconds. Abdul is 2 minutes 16. Darlina is 2 minutes 05. Lisa 1 minute 42. Jade 2 minutes 11. Kanan is 1 minute 18. Anand is 1 minute 56. Vikana is 2 minutes 18, and lastly, Angela 2 minutes 12.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shanshan. So does everybody qualify?
Yep.
Okay, without much ado, can you please vote for the best table topic speaker? Thank you. Sorry, yes, I've launched the poll. Please vote. All right, we are at 64%. So let's everybody put in your vote and we can go for our break after we end this voting. 70%. We still have 30% more who haven't voted. %82%. So I give you 80 seconds more. We hit 2 minutes, we'll end the poll. Now we need to have more votes because currently there's a tie. Three seconds more. All right, we end it. Now I hand over back to Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Madam Table Topics Master. Thank you for reigniting the animal in us. Before we go on for our 10-minute break, I would like to encourage everyone to do a quick survey. Tonight, we looked at character. Is character relevant to leadership? Character is fundamental to effective leadership. Good character builds trust. Without trust, nobody will follow you. Without followers, one obviously cannot lead. We'd like to do a quick survey. I'll just share a screen with you. This is Mentimeter. At the top of the screen, if you type in www.menti.com, use the code 225127. I will put this in the chat box for you as well. Think about, the character trait that defines your leadership. After the break, we will have a look at what one word defines your leadership. So think about it. What character trait defines your leadership? We will now go for a 10-minute break. We will see you back at 23 past the hour. See you back shortly. Welcome back, everyone, to the second half of the meeting, the project speech segment. Before we hear from the 5 project presenters, let us look at what you have said was the character trait that defined your leadership. Let me share the screen with you. Majority of the audience said integrity, being fair, trustworthiness, and passion as well. And we have an added bonanza of being the animal. Bring out the animal in you. Thank you, everyone, for your participation in this. Let us begin the project speech segment. Our first speaker tonight is distinguished Toastmaster Patrick Guilfoyle. Toastmaster Patrick Guilfoyle will be completing his Visionary Communication Level 1 Mastering Fundamentals, Evaluation and Feedback First Speech. The title of his speech is Keep Calm and Walk the Talk. May I invite the evaluator, please, distinguished Toastmaster Li Shanshan, to read out the project statement. I introduced Distinguished Toastmaster Li Shanshan a bit earlier today, but for those who joined us late, Distinguished Toastmaster Li Shanshan is a member of 3 clubs, Astro at Radin Mas, Toa Payoh South, and this awesome club as well. She joined Toastmasters to conquer her fear of public speaking, and she can't wait to travel again. Please welcome Distinguished Toastmaster Li Shanshan to read out the project statement.
All right, the project statement. The purpose of the project is for the member to present a speech on any topic, receive feedback, and apply the feedback to a second speech. The purpose of this speech is for the member to present a speech and receive feedback from the evaluator. All right, timing is 5 to 7 minutes. So for Patrick, do not watch my screen here. At the 5th minute and the 6th, 7, and then 7 minutes, 30 seconds, you see this. So for the speakers, do note of the timing as well. Okay, back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Madam Evaluator. I'd just like to remind the speaker to pin the timer, please. You've all heard of Murphy's Law. Anything that can go wrong will go wrong. If you don't want to meet Mr. Murphy, then you have to have a vision, be organized, and be prepared. Please put your hands together for distinguished Toastmaster Patrick Guilfoyle with Keep Calm and Walk the Talk. Keep calm and walk the talk. Patrick.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome guests. Organizations have to have values, but so do people. To be effective in an organization, one's own values must be compatible with the organization's values. They do not need to be the same, but they must be close enough so that they can coexist. Who said this? Peter Drucker, Management Challenges for the 21st Century. Aligning values, strategies, and management practices may be simple to understand and simple to talk about, but it's very difficult to actually implement. Charles A. O'Reilly, Hidden Values. It goes without saying that an organization's values and mission statements must be in sync. Do you know what the mission statement of a Toastmasters Club is? We provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. This is very important. If a club doesn't follow the mission statement, there's going to be problems. From the club mission statement, there are 5 key words or phrases. 1, supportive. 2, positive learning experience. 3, empowered. 4, communication. 5, leadership skills. If the characteristics of the club mission statement are not in balance, it is likely that it will be difficult to retain and attract new members. I experienced this recently with Korea Carpe Diem Toastmasters Club, the club I co-founded and chartered in 2014. I left this club in 2017 because of family responsibilities. I rejoined the club I co-founded in November 2019. Korea Carpe Diem was a shadow of itself. Why? Still to this day, I am not really sure. Faced with the prospect of having to conduct our meetings online, about half of the few members that remained in our club were not very happy. We struggled to get enough people to attend our meetings. As the VP of Education, I accepted the challenge and managed to organize quality online meetings with the help of Buddies, Online Toastmasters Club, Speakers Lounge Toastmasters Club, Global Trainers Online Advanced Toastmasters Club, VVCE from India, Memorial Toastmasters Club, Zenith Toastmasters Club in Pakistan, and other clubs as well. We had some very good meetings. At one of our meetings, former international president, and I'm going to have difficulty pronouncing his name. I know I need to work on this. Yes, I think you can understand what I'm trying to say. Jim Kokokshi gave a keynote speech Having quality meetings wouldn't be good enough for some people, though. On June 15th, can you guess what happened? We held our annual election with our small group of people, and I was elected president. Unfortunately, my main competitor, believe it or not, in a handful of people, and a few of her supporters decided to leave the club because both of us had competing visions. On several occasions since June 15th, I have reached out to her and tried to make some compromises. She would have none of it. Well, all organizations do have a mission statement and a set of values or guiding principles. And for me, following these 4 core values of Toastmasters is very important. What are they? Integrity, service, respect, and intelligence. Why did you join Toastmasters? Why did you remain a member of Toastmasters? Are you an active Toastmaster? Do you support other members? How did you respond to online meetings when your club had to go on? Now, with Singapore Online, of course, we are an online club, but not everybody now is used to this format. And some people want to go back to the way things were. As the president of a Toastmasters club, I have to listen to the opinions of my executive and club members. However, sometimes when you try to support the 4 core values, that may, in fact, bring a clash with the ideas and opinions of the members. I find it necessary for me to stand by these 4 core values. If I prematurely agree to going back to traditional meetings, I could be endangering the health of my members and guests. To do so would be betraying the first 3 core values. Also, I believe it is important to support the pathway system. I believe it is important to mentor members in the operation of Base Camp. Oh, I do not believe the Toastmasters education program is important. Socializing is more important than giving speeches, said my competitor in her campaign speech. Do you believe a potential club president should hold such views? Absolutely not. I decided to keep calm and walk the talk. I am a Toastmaster of conviction. Today, I am the president of Korea Carpe Diem Toastmasters Club and a member of this club. And I stand by the 4 core values of Toastmasters. Thank you very much, Toastmaster of today, fellow Toastmasters.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Patrick Guilfoyle. Thank you for reminding us to keep calm and walk the talk. Sometimes in times of adversity, we forget. It's always good to refer to the Toastmasters core values: integrity, respect, service, and excellence. Our next speaker is Advanced Communicator Gold, Advanced Leader Bronze, Vikaran Chowdhury. Toastmaster Vikaran Chowdhury will be speaking from the Strategic Relationships Level 2, Learning Your Style Cross-Cultural Understanding. The title of his speech is Fried Rice. May I please invite the evaluator, Distinguished Toastmaster Doreen Neo, to read out the project statement. Distinguished Toastmaster Doreen Neo has been in the workforce for 47 years when she retired in December 2018 to focus on grandparenting and pursuing her passion in Toastmasters. Please take it away, Distinguished Toastmaster Doreen Neo. Oh, I think we have to unmute her.
Okay. Thank you very much, Toastmaster of the evening. The purpose statement. The purpose of this project is for the member to identify his or her own cultural identities and the stereotypes that impact others' perceptions of him or her. Over to you, Toastmaster of the evening.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Dorino. May I please ask the speaker to pin the timer? The speech is 5 to 7 minutes, so the green light will come on at 5, the yellow at 6, and the red light at 7 minutes. Toastmaster Vikaran Chowdhury lives in the moment and says, nothing ventured, nothing gained. Tonight's speech will look at cultural norms and what people may identify with. Please join me in giving a thunderous round of applause for Advanced Communicator Gold, Advanced Leader Bronze, Vikaran Chowdhury with Fried Rice. Fried Rice, Toastmaster Vikaran Chowdhury.
Good evening, everyone. In case you guys thought I was blowing kisses to everybody in the audience, yes, that is a way of welcoming people. But I was also trying to signal that I need to be unmuted. I'm not trying to do any flirtatious behavior out here. Now, getting on to my speech, talking about fried rice. Initially, when I read about my objectives and what I had to do, I understood it to be that I needed to talk about cross-cultural communication and stereotypes of how when people are in a different country. So I chose the topic of fried rice, and I was going to go along with how different elements go about to make fried rice. But I got to know my objectives were totally different, where I had to identify with my own stereotypes. So, by the way, I am Indian. And in India, there are lots and lots of stereotypes which people have. Believe it or not, I got asked some really bizarre questions. Let me share with you. Some of you may have heard some of my other speeches and got to know I went and studied in the US and I worked in different parts of the world. Let me share some of the things which I got as stereotypes while I was studying in the US. I got to college. It's a big college. I went to Ohio State, was in the dorms. The very first question I got asked by my roommate was, "Oh, you're Indian. You love curry. You must like spicy food." And lo and behold, I gave him this long explanation of what curry is, you know, that curry can be a spice, it can be a gravy, it's not a food what everybody considers. But trust me, that stereotype, in my number of years I was in the US, I still got asked that every time. But I got better and better at explaining it. You know, I began getting more and more concise. To all those, my answer was no, no, and no. I never went to the science field. I actually was a business and econ major. So I totally broke that mold of being a total typical stereotype which people had about Indians being either in medicine or in engineering or in IT. Some of the other stereotypes which I got asked about a lot was, actually that began happening more so from 2008, 2009, when yoga began getting more and more westernized. I know I'm talking nearly like 12 years ago, but it doesn't seem like 12 years to me. It just seems like it was just like yesterday when somebody asked me, "Oh, you're from India. You must be really good at yoga. Can you teach me yoga?" And I would say, you know what? I would love to tell you that I know yoga really well and we do it daily, but I have no idea. I'm as clueless as you are. If you go into a yoga class, take me along. I will learn with you. So, something else, now that we're talking about stereotypes, I didn't face this too much anywhere else, but when I moved towards Asia, when people would talk to me and I'm talking about different ethnicities and people from different countries, when they would talk to me, they would start shaking the head like this. And for the life of me, I had no idea why the head was moving like a bobblehead all the time. And it was only later on that I realized that people thought that when a lot of Indians speak, that they shake their head as though they're doing their dance. But that's, again, a stereotype. You go down, I mean, if you go to India, which is 1 billion plus people, you know, trust me, not all of them will shake their head like a bobblehead and keep going. They keep it steady. It just depends. It's just a stereotype which gets glorified and magnified. Do we go out singing and dancing on the streets and raining? Now again, that's from Bollywood movies. Some of you may have seen them, some of you may not have, but that's not norm. That is just something which is done, you know. The number of stereotypes which I have come across is surprising. It's actually astounding. Some of the things which I got asked in the US was, why don't I have a dot on my forehead? I'm sure you guys have seen some Indian ladies and maybe some gentlemen also sporting some kind of ash or some color on their forehead. Well, it's each to their own. There's a lot of explanation. We won't get into that, but that's another stereotype. Do cows roam on the road? Are you guys all vegetarian? Does India just eat chicken tikka masala or butter chicken? Well, people don't realize India has a huge vegetarian population. So the number of people eating non-vegetarian is a lot less. So butter chicken and chicken tikka masala is not what we eat day in and day out. Something else, just to kind of talk about stereotypes, is people will ask, how many gods do you have in India? Well, in India, we have lots and lots of gods because we think everything is a god. You know, I can say that I'm Indian, I'm Hindu. Somebody may want to pick on me on this later on, but that's okay because that's my opinion and I'm going to stick to it. We do have lots of gods. I did Google this and I actually came up with a result which was actually in millions. I'm like, it cannot be possible. Somebody actually said we have 330 million gods. I'm like, how is that possible? How is that possible? Was it initially 1-to-1? Like each person had its god? And then it just, as we grew as a population, they said, okay, one god to like 5 people. Anyhow, that calculation is not correct. I see my red timer having come on. The number of stereotypes I had was long. I actually had an extremely long list. I don't think I've even touched on any of them. But hopefully I've managed to share some of the stereotypes about India, and most of them are not true. And back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vikaran Chowdhury. I do, I do relate to your story because in Australia, when I was traveling, I remember a story once when I was traveling, I was asked, do you really have kangaroos in your backyard? Do you play with them? Are they your pets? I thought, you haven't really come across a kangaroo, have you? You would not like it when they kick you. Yeah. But the fact though is I do have kangaroos in my backyard because I live quite near the bushland. Yeah. So kangaroo, if you do want to see kangaroo, come and see me. Yeah. Our next speaker is Distinguished Toastmaster Kanan Sankara Narayanan. Distinguished Toastmaster Kanan Sankara Narayanan will be presenting Presentation Mastery Level 5, Demonstrating Expertise. Reflect on your path. May I please invite his evaluator, Distinguished Toastmaster Alicia Cha, to present the purpose statement.
Yes, thank you, Toastmaster Day Lee Buckley. The purpose statement for this project is for the member to reflect on his growth during the completion of an entire path. The purpose of the speech is for the member to share some aspect of his growth during the completion of a path. Now, in this period of COVID-19, where all companies are not growing, it's good to hear DTM Kanan share with us his growth through his reflection of his path. So back to you, DTM Kanan.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Alicia Chia. The timing for the speech is 5 to 7 minutes. The green light will come on at 5, the yellow on 6, and the red light on 7 minutes. I would like to remind the speaker to please pin the timer. Distinguished Toastmaster Kanan Sankara Narayanan will be sharing with us his journey of learning in the presentation mastery path. Please give a warm round of applause to distinguished Toastmaster Kanan Sankara Narayanan.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster, for pronouncing my name perfectly. Madam Evaluator for introducing me very nicely. Fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests. Why do we join Toastmasters? We want to learn something new during our journey in every pathway's path. I have found that my journey for the last 2 months in the presentation mastery definitely enhanced my learning skill. I have faced a few challenges also during this journey. Presentation mastery is one of the basic paths that can be enrolled by bonanza Toastmasters who want to excel in public speaking. During my journey on the presentation mastery path, I found that most of the projects in the pathways are same. Actually, I have completed all the 11 paths. I am now going for the second round to pick the different projects so that I can learn more. Some of the Toastmasters have asked me, Kanan, how to pick topics for the speeches. I find it very difficult to pick a topic. Fellow Toastmasters, we can pick topics on the incident that is happening around us. For example, during this COVID situation, I utilized the COVID situation to add humor in my speeches. I have told a story about the mask and shopping and how I took some other women thinking that she was my wife. I wish it was, but it didn't happen that way. My speech about cooking during the COVID situation, the TV news in USA during the COVID situation, these were some of the topics I picked. So fellow Toastmasters, you can also pick some great topics just that is happening during around you actually. During your stay or during your Toastmaster meeting. Actually, the Toastmaster of the day today inspired me to give a topic how to pronounce a name and how to butcher the name. That is what I'm going to speak in the next Toastmaster meeting. I have learned that adding humor to these speeches will definitely enhance and will help to get the right audience contact. I also did managing hostile audience project, but what happened is when I gave the speech for the first time, the audience were very nice. They were not hostile, so I felt I did not fulfill the project objectives. So I once again gave the same speech in another club, but these audience were really hostile. The role players did a fantastic job in playing their roles. It was not rehearsed earlier, but I found it very difficult to pacify them. In this project, I tried to apologize as a newspaper editor who had published the death of a beloved politician who was 86 years old, but he was only in critical condition. Unfortunately, he died after 2 days, but this was based on a real incident in my state in India. In real life, I had faced this situation only once when we rolled off some of the employees during the budget crisis. I had to face that blunt of that deal. So it helped me to relate to that. I wish I had taken the review of the leading the voluntary organization some 10 years ago. I could have done differently because my organization Enlighten went through so many difficulties and I find it very difficult to get committed officers. I also found that when the officers came on board, they need something in return. And there are many legal formalities that we need to know before starting or closing an organization. I learned all these things during this path. I also did professionally speaking in this path. I want to thank Singapore Online for giving me that 20 minutes. They gave me a patience hearing. I really like that. Now I am confident that I can speak for more than 20 minutes without getting any panic. I have also developed the habit of reading many stories, many folk stories, so I can relate those stories during my speech. I did a persuasive speaking project in another club. I persuaded everyone to use the cell phone wisely and not get addicted to the cell phone. I also spoke about nomophobia. This means you have a phobia that you are afraid that you may not be able to use the phone. You need to put your relationship first and avoid using the phone unnecessarily. I was contemplating whether I should use an alcohol or a cell phone, but I thought giving the speech using the cell phone was better and it could have add value. That really paid off. Overall, I like the presentation mastery path. I may not be able to do this again because I want to complete strategic relationship, motivational strategies, etc. I may come back to this maybe after 2 years if I survive. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Wow, thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Kanan Sankara Narayanan. It was an added bonanza for us to be able to learn to use the mobile phone for speeches. The next speaker is Advanced Communicator Gold, Advanced Leader Bronze, Presentation Mastery 3, District 80 A3 Area Director, Angela Lansbury. Angela will be presenting from Presentation Mastery Level 4, Building Skills, Managing a Difficult Audience Project. May I please ask her evaluator, Distinguished Toastmaster Adnan Ariyaratinan, to please read out the purpose statement. Distinguished Toastmaster Adnan Ariyaratinan had been a Toastmaster for the past 8 years, enjoying the journey of exploring and expanding beyond his known beliefs. Please go ahead, Distinguished Toastmaster Adnan Ariyaratinan.
Okay, let me try again. Okay. The purpose of this project is for the members to practice the skills needed to address audience challenges when he or she presents outside of the Toastmasters Club. Time is 10 to 15 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you, Distinguished Toastmaster Adnan Ariyaratinan. May I please remind the speaker to pin the timer. The duration of the speech is 10 to 15 minutes. The green light will come on at 10 minutes, the yellow light at 12, and the red light at 14 minutes. Toastmaster Angela Lansbury is an enthusiastic recycler and a blogger. Please put your hands together for Toastmaster Angela Lansbury with "Don't throw it, grow it. Don't throw it, grow it." Toastmaster Angela Lansbury.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster of the Day, Lee Buckley. I would like to share my screen with you because what I have to tell you is very important, and it starts way back in the time of the Bible. Now let me see if I can show you my screen. Can you all see the pictures? Hello, can you all see my picture?
Yes, Toastmaster Angela.
This is going to be about why we should grow food instead of throwing it away. It has been discovered that we throw away enormous amounts of food. Some of this could be eaten and some of it could be used to fertilize the land or given away to poor people who need it. Now let's take a little journey back through history and see how things have changed. Starting way back in the Bible, I would like to go first back to Adam and Eve. You've all heard of Adam's apple. Well, Adam and Eve supposedly had an apple, but lots of modern people think they didn't have apples, they had grapes, because they were in a hot climate and they couldn't grow apples. And grapes are climbers and grow of their own accord, and you can just pick them. As you may find if you plant grapes in your own garden, grapes are wonderful to plant. We planted them in England. We planted 6 vines. And we now have 6 different sets of different grapes growing. And they can be made into either food or drink. You might think, why drink? We don't want drink. Well, there are two reasons for this. One is to use up the excess grapes, and the other is because if you haven't got water which is non-poisonous, at least you can drink the grape juice. You don't have to have wine, you can drink grape juice. So far so good. Now we come on to another biblical story which many of you may know. And this is the story of Joseph. And the famous story of Joseph was that he dreamt, or he heard about a dream in which there were 7 years of glut and then 7 years of famine. And this is a typical cycle, ups and downs, ups and downs. You have a brilliant harvest, beautiful weather, you have more food than you can use, but afterwards you run out of food, and that means you've got to store it. And this is on a grand scale what has happened for centuries, from summer to winter. You get lots of fruit, lots of apples in the autumn, and I remember from England we could save our apples and continue eating apples right the way through to January or February, having started to pick them in August and September. So far so good. You've got to store food. But those of you who saw what happened in Beirut may have a feeling that things could go wrong. We'll come to that shortly. So what happened in history? What did people do to save food? On a household level, you salted food or you sweetened it. So you could salt your fish and make smoked salmon, or you could put it in vinegar from those grapes and make pickled food. The Koreans have kimchi. And later on we got tinned food and frozen food. Meanwhile, what about the government? The governments in Europe, they have a butter mountain. Would you believe? They have huge stores of food, and they have wine lakes. Some years they have so much wine that they can't get the price they want for it. They can't even give it away. And that's why you have all these cellars full of bottles of wine that it keeps year after year for your grandchildren. What happens to the farmers? In France, farmers are very strong and they're subsidized by the government. In England, the reverse happened. All the orchards were pulled up. Didn't the same thing happen in Singapore? Orchard Road. Anybody seen an apple tree in Orchard Road? Anybody seen a papaya tree? Any tree in Orchard Road? What about Dairy Farm? Any dairy in Dairy Farm Road? No. I will move on my slides. We've gone through storage. Now, we come to World War II. The government, which had pulled up all the orchards and said we didn't need them, we imported food from all over the world, suddenly found in World War II the ships could not get through and Britain did not have enough food.
Angela, we can't see your information.
That's right, Angela. I've been trying to get your attention to look at your slides.
Can you see them now?
Yes.
I think it's better if you change another angle to Angela.
Can you see them now?
Yeah. Can see the pickles.
Let's
and
go back
gherkins.
very quickly. We had apples and then pickles, and we're going to go on very shortly to the oranges. So World War II, we suddenly found that we didn't have enough food. And this is why I think we should all be worried.
Sorry, Angela, I missed the oranges again. Could you go back to the oranges, please?
We'll be coming.
I couldn't seem to recall the oranges, Angela.
Don't worry about the oranges. I'm coming to that in two slides further on. We're just coming up to it. Thank you.
But Angela's, the orange, it's such a good fruit. You know, it's added bonanza to our health. I just want to know more about the oranges.
Well, we're going on to the oranges because here are what we did with our oranges. We have grown them on our balcony in Singapore. And my husband has made marmalade from oranges. Now here.
Oh, that's great. Can I get that in the shops here? Yeah. Would I be able to buy it here? You know, that looks fantastic.
My husband.
But it's okay. Like, Vikaran, I'm talking Vikaran.
I know, but I'm trying to
Yeah,
interrupt.
but I'm trying to get, you know, delivery here.
It seems there's so many one talking. Who is talking? Who is talking?
It doesn't matter. I want my oranges. I want the marmalade.
You know, to me, it's a lime.
It's
not
what
oranges.
lime? It's oranges.
Lime.
No, these are lime, not oranges.
Doesn't matter. It's, you know, papaya, pawpaw, oranges, lime.
The oranges you all want are here. Now,
Angela, I have a question about Dairy Farm Road. You were talking about Dairy Farm Road and not finding any dairy, but I think there's a little bit more history behind it of why it got named Dairy Farm Road or certain roads.
Thank you for raising that, and we'll come to that later at the end, but I'd just like to finish with the oranges because here's something you cannot bring in a
please.
cow.
I love to hear more about oranges.
You cannot have a cow on your balcony, but you can have an orange. And this is what we have.
But I don't have a balcony.
You don't have a balcony.
I don't have a balcony. What can I do?
If you just wait a few more slides, I'll tell you, I'm coming to what you have to do. If you look at the bottom of the slide, you'll see where we're going.
How do you take to grow this?
Okay. So
how long does it take to grow this?
You can get 2 crops a year. Now, here's something else you can grow, aloe vera. This we've also grown on our balcony. And if you ever burn yourself or have a pain, the inside of this is soothing and medicinal. So not only can you grow fruit and vegetables, you can have your own medical supply if you can't get out.
Angela, they said it's, in Chinese feng shui, they said don't grow spiky stuff in your house. So this aloe vera has a lot of thorns, not good for you. Is that feng shui?
Thank you for raising that. Now the solution to this, what I do is I cut off the tips of the ends of it so that I don't scratch myself. And one of my other tips is that you should get gardening gloves and always wear them when you're on your balcony because it's very easy to get scratched. Now let me come on to the next thing you can grow. This is lemongrass. And you can
So Angela, are the aloe vera and orange easy to grow? Because I killed my cactus recently.
Right, they are very easy to grow. The aloe vera, we went away to London for 3 months and we thought it would be dead. We came back, it was triple the size, it was a monster, and it had 3 babies. It's incredibly, it's the easiest thing. It grows when you're not looking. You
Angela,
walk
what
away,
was mentioned in the below the photo? We can't see.
Right, this picture here.
Angela, back to aloe vera. Back to aloe vera. They say aloe vera is a good moisturizer, right?
Yes. I'm coming to the end now.
Oh, yeah.
What I'm telling you is, if you go onto YouTube, you can see lots of videos about how you can grow all these things. There's another source of information. The government is giving out free seeds. And if you apply now and go online, you can get free seeds. Now, you're all obviously very interested, and I want you to contact me. Here are my details, london8@gmail.com. My phone number is 9627-6046, and all the details about...
Sorry, Angela, could you slow down, please? I lost where you say your phone number or your email. Yeah. I just couldn't see your screen, that's all. Yeah.
It's in the last slide, and I'll get Willie to give it to all of you so that you can contact me.
Can you also let us know the site where we can get these free seeds? I've heard of it, but I don't know how to do it. Can you
forget the free seeds? What about the oranges? I was waiting for the last slide to hear about the oranges. I'm still waiting for the oranges.
Yes.
I thought I had the extra bonanza of learning about oranges. But there's nothing about oranges.
Lee, I want to find out about...
Forget it, I want oranges.
I'm obviously created a lot of excitement here, and I'm sorry we have to finish now, but I would like to
Lee, you going like that proverb which says, give a man a fish.
Forget about the fish, oranges. I want my oranges.
You should eat the seeds instead. You know, learn how to fish instead of just getting a fish.
Self, right? Yourself.
Back to Toastmasters.
And forget about the aloe vera. It's too yucky. It's too jelly. Ooh, yeah. Oranges.
Great vitamin C though. Angela, can you just get the address?
I'll give it to you. Write to me at annalondon8@gmail.com and I will send it to you personally. It will
Thank
also
you.
be on this blog, Travel with Angela Lansbury, tomorrow. So please log in and look at it. I'll have all the details there. And when you come round to my house, you can taste the marmalade. Look forward to seeing you all. Thank you. Back to Toastmaster of the Day, Lee Buckley.
Thank you, Toastmaster Angela Lansbury. What an engaging session with all the disruptors. We had the chatterboxes, we had the disruptors, we had the not. I don't know about this person. I will, who kept asking about oranges. I have to have a word with this person. So hopefully you've all enjoyed the session and learned a bit more about managing difficult audience, particularly the orange asker. Now we have the next speaker, speaker 5. I think she might have left the meeting. Does that mean we have finished with our prepared speeches? Thank you for the confirmation, Madam VPE. We will now have a 10-minute break so that we can rejuvenate, so I can go and get my 100% orange juice from the fridge. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you back in 10 minutes. Welcome back, everyone. I hope you've had the extra bonanza of, refilling your glass with orange juice now that you've learned the value of oranges. Forget about the tea. I've had my 6th cup now. I've had my 2nd cup of orange juice. I would encourage all of you to go and grab something healthy to drink. For the next segment, it's the evaluation and report segment. To lead the segment, please welcome our General Evaluator, Advanced Communicator Gold, Advanced Leader Bronze, District 80 S2A Director, Lee Chui Ling. Please give her a warm or thunderous round of applause.
Thank you, Lee. Good afternoon, good morning to everybody. Okay, coming to the next segment, we now to have a evaluation. May I invite the first evaluator, Lee Shanshan. Before the evaluator, all the timing for the evaluators are the same. The green light was shown on the 2 minutes, and 2.5 minutes, the yellow light will be shown, and the 3 minutes, on the 3 minutes, the red light will be shown, and given 30 seconds to wrap up. All the best. And now, shall I invite first evaluator Lee Shanshan, DTM Lee Shanshan, to give the evaluation report.
All right. Good evening, or I should say good night, good morning to all. For Patrick, thank you for the interesting speech about the Toastmasters mission statement, especially the acronym RISE. And everybody was standing by there ready to go into the RISE mode as well. And you also shared your struggles, especially when you co-founded that club, left the club, came back to a, should I say, a club that has gone all the way beyond your expectations of not rising to the occasion, or it has gone down even more worse. So you shared the history, you shared everything. You even shared all the way to the point where you almost wanted to start a fight. And now with the COVID situation, you even came up with this argument, health versus socializing. Right? Now here's the improvement that you can take. When you ask the question, is health important or socializing important? You can engage the audience with it. You can just engage the audience to take a look at this question, think about it, and wondering, okay, is health more important or socializing more important? Engage the audience. Rather than you ask the question, answer the question yourself without having the audience to answer the question as well. So have an audience engagement in the chat. I'd ask them just type in the chat. Then you just read out some of the responses. So next one is the second improvement is that, hold on, I can't read my own handwriting. See, the second one is, okay. The second improvement is when you conclude your speech, ask them or ask yourself, do I walk the talk using the Toastmasters mission statement, or do I walk the talk using my own beliefs against my competitors' belief? Okay, and you conclude the speech. So this is how you can also make the speech more interesting, engage the audience. Because in a physical meeting, you can ask them the questions, but in a virtual meeting, you ask them by tapping in the chat. So there are the few improvements that you can take on, and hopefully I'll see the improvement in your next speech. Thank you. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Lisan Sans. Now we come to the next evaluator. Shall we invite DTN Dorino to evaluate the second speaker? DTN Dorino is from UNOS Bilingual Toastmasters Club and Singapore Online English Toastmasters Club. Shall we invite her?
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, TM Vikana is definitely a confident, cool, and composed speaker, displaying crystal clear voice and have the stage stance. I enjoyed his Tanzania speech. Can you hear me? When I first saw Vikana topic fried rice, I gave a thought and was wondering why he chose fried rice. Perhaps he's trying to express his culture through food, fried rice, the different elements or ingredients to be used. My guess was quite close. But then when Vikana realized that his title was on the wrong track, not in sync with the objective, that is identifying his culture, identity, and associated stereotype. Yes, he has identified his identity as an Indian, a modern Indian. Vikana, you have shared humorously about 5 to 6 stereo scenario impact other perception on you. One is on the food. You mentioned about the curry, where at first you have difficulty in explaining, but after several times people asking you, you have improved in trying to explain on the topic of the curry. Actually, I would thought you would have given fried rice. Second, on your academic and your career, on your yoga and shaking of the head. And the fifth one is the dot on the forehead, which actually I'm very interested to know. My recommendation, since you have realized the wrong objective, you would consider changing the title of the fried rice to something else so that it can be in sync with your message. Perhaps you also want to explain the purpose or the significance on one of the items, that is the dot on the forehead, which until today I'm very curious. Vikana, in conclusion, you are a confident speaker with varied vocal variety. You are able to inject humor into your speech. And please consider the 2 points that I have raised. One is changing of the title of your speech and at least explain one of the scenario that you have cited. This will give us, the audience, a better idea at least of one item. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Doreen, for evaluating. Next, we shall invite the third evaluator, Alicia, to evaluate the third speaker. Alicia, please.
Thank you, General Evaluator Choi Lin. And welcome. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon to everyone, and especially to Toastmaster DTN Kanan Sankara Narayanan. I got it right. I'd like to congratulate Toastmaster Kanan for first completing so many paths and reaching his 5th level. The final project reflect on my path. Basically, today I'll evaluate him on what he did well, and the other area is the parts of his speech that were a bit lackluster. Now, the first area that he did very well was he has established himself to be a very inspiring speaker today. He shared with us his growth. Firstly, he's a very credible speaker. He has completed 11 paths who has completed 11 paths. I can't even complete one path yet. So congratulations. And besides being a credible speaker, he has bridged the gap between him and the audience. The audience can feel that he has in the same shoes with the audience. Why so? Because a lot of speakers, like you out there, we always have the issue of what topics to pick. We get stuck. But he has shown us that it's not very difficult to pick topics. All you need to do is look around you. What's happening? What's the latest issue? And now the latest issue is COVID-19. I myself have been speaking on a lot of topics on COVID-19, be it humor, be it inspiring, be it sad story, all hovered around COVID-19. He also motivated everyone in the sense of telling the audience that he also experiences the same kind of challenges. For instance, he spoke about speaking with a hostile audience. At one club, he couldn't get, the audience was too kind to him. At another club, he really got what he wanted. So everybody will experience the same thing. And he realized that he learned new things, like the budget crisis, which he could have helped in his company 10 years ago. But nevertheless, we always learn things that we might have used last time. But when you have something new, you have it in your pocket. So anything happens, you can use it or you can share with people. So that's why I feel that he's a very inspiring speaker today. I can feel his passion. Now, for the other part of the speech, which was a bit lackluster, was that his speech was supposed to be 10 minutes to 12 minutes. But Kanan only spoke 5 minutes, 53 seconds, which means that he could have better utilized the time. I felt that he could have covered more ground by sharing with us what kind of humor that he spoke about, because humor is the most difficult. And also tell us more about the challenges he faced himself, rather than the person, rather than not other people. So all in all, you are a really inspiring speaker. You are credible, you have bridged the gap, and I look forward to your next path. Back to you, Toastmasters General Evaluator.
Thank you, Vilecia. Next, I shall invite the evaluator, DTN Anand, to evaluate the fourth speaker. DTN Anand is from Jurong Green Toastmasters Club's Advisors Singapore Online English Toastmasters Club. Let's welcome DTN Anand.
Okay, fabulous day, everyone. Today, Angela did something which was very challenging, managing a difficult audience. And in an audience, in such a setting like this, an audience would have someone who is always talking, someone who was always interrupting, and someone who was just busy chatting all the way. And we did see all these type of disruptive behavior in her speech today. So whoever who planted all these audiences there, job well done, because you really got Angela ruffled. So Angela, what was interesting about your speech was, it was interesting enough to get the audience to talk about it. I mean, we are all still talking about orange and the aloe vera plants and so forth. So the selection of the topic was very good. I liked that. Now, what I would like to ask you then, something probably you could have improved or done better. Now, when you share your screen, were you able to see any of your audiences? Angela? No, right? So that's why you have to be a bit mindful when you give certain type of speeches. For something like this, the moment you share your screen, you're unable to see your audience, and when they start talking, you wouldn't know who is giving you the disruption, and you are unable to address them directly. So I would suggest that perhaps in a speech like this, keep it clear, let's see all your audience, and then you can start addressing them directly. So that will give you some form of control, and you won't get too flustered over the whole thing. Now, if there's another thing I would like you to work on is on the effective management of a disruptive audience. When Jennifer brought up the fact about the aloe vera plant being something bad luck to her, you did not quite address her question, but you went on to speak, continue on to your speech. Now, this usually leads, because you're not acknowledging that person will continue talking until he gets your attention. Usually that's why you have disruptors in your audience. You have to learn how to address the disruption. And if it's something which is out of the topic, you just tell them, oh, that's a very good point that you brought out. We shall bring it on, we'll bring it up for discussion later on after everything is over. So that way, once you acknowledge them and get them to say, is that okay with you? If they say yes, then you will have one less disruptor in your audience. Then you can move on with your speech. All in all, I thought it was a very good attempt done by you. I've seen this type of speech done in many other clubs, and it's really interesting. Today was another viewpoint for me, and I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to evaluate you. Thank you, Angela. All the best.
Thank you, Anna, also for evaluating Angela's speech. Next, we come for the fifth evaluator, Jennifer Lim. She is from Singapore Online to evaluate the fifth speaker. Shall we invite Jennifer?
There's no fifth speaker.
No. Okay. Left. Okay. So now we come to the segment of for our counter report. Shall we invite Abdul Karim for his report?
Yes. Good afternoon. Good evening. Here's some kind of background. Can you please stop that if you don't mind? Thank you. Okay, today was a wonderful speakers. I'm amazed. It's pretty good so far. I got less of souls and stuff, but I'm gonna go with the speakers and guesses. The guesses, I have Alicia, said 1, you know. Janet, none. Develina, you know. So 1. Lisa, you know, that's only 1. Jade, so, 2 hums, and 2 yes. I got Kenneth, 1 so. Annette, so 1 so. Kenneth, I have none. Angelina, none. Speaker 1, I have 2 souls. Speaker 2, 3 souls. Speaker 4, 4 souls. Speaker, I guess that's it. Today was a wonderful speech. Thank you so much, everybody. Keep up the good work. Less and better communication. Thank you, and back to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Abdul Karim. I saw a voting poll here shown on the screen. Do you see any voting poll to vote the best evaluator? So everybody do this for voting.
I can't hear you.
Please vote for the best evaluator.
Yeah, I initial some guy.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, very good voice.
Okay, it's done.
Stadium, you know?
I count for 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, the poll is closed. Now we come to the timings segment. Shall we call timers Li Shanshan for her report?
All right. Based on the report that I sent, right? So myself is 3 minutes 10, Doreen 2 minutes 46, Alicia 3 minutes 23, and Anand is 3 minutes 15. That's about it. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Not really. It's like.
Thanks, Shanshan.
Yeah, I see. Oh, okay.
Now we come to the segment of language evaluator. Shall we invite John Tan, ACGCL, for his language evaluator? John Tan, please.
Terrific evening, everybody. Very good to be here. Although first time I've spoken past 11 p.m. Most of the physical meetings end at 10 o'clock. But I forget this is an online club. And the online club can go past midnight, I think. So I'm happy to be doing the grammarian's report today. I shall concentrate on grammar first. But before I do that, I want to compliment all of you for using the word bonanza. It's used as a noun. It can also be used as an adjective. It's a bonanza today to meet so many like-minded Toastmasters. That's a noun. Or we could, as the Toastmaster of the evening, wonderfully use the word. It's an added bonanza. It's a extra bonanza. It's a first bonanza. It's a completed bonanza. Now those are used, and the word bonanza are used as a noun. But it could also have been a bonanza evening. Would it be correct? A bonanza evening, indicating that it's an adjective. But I'm happy that most of us understand why the word of the day is introduced and why we practice using the word of the day, especially when we do not often use this word in our everyday language. But now you have an additional word that you can compliment someone when he gave you a bonanza time, right? So bonanza means a source of great and sudden wealth or luck, or a spectacular windfall. So I hope some of you will have a bonanza time at the lotteries when you get a chance to travel to casinos. Thank you for all the words, especially the Toastmaster of the day. She used the word bonanza more than 12 times. Congratulations. Now let me go on to grammar. I love grammar because grammar gives me a chance to be very strict and to be very tactful, at the same time to be very alert, because in the course of speaking English, very often we missed out how English should be spoken correctly. And I would like to highlight this evening a number of times where I felt perhaps the speaker could have been more careful in the choice of words, especially in the grammar. The first line I heard was, I have a lot of people who trust me. Well, that's fine. A lot of people is good. But you could also say, I have many people who trust me, right? Numerous people who trust me, right? A lot refers to a lot of food, and food is uncountable, but people are countable. So you should use many or most or numerous. Now, I must have done a lot of action. That's why they trust me. I must have done a lot means that I've done a lot already. Action is redundant, I think. It's understood. So I must have done a lot. That's why people trust me. So of action may not be used. So that they can do their work easier. Adverb. So that they can do the work easily. Because you have a verb. After the verb comes easily, ly, right? Not easier. The characters I have come up with are animal characters. I listened again, and I said, doesn't seem right. It should be animal characteristics. The characters I have come up with are animal characteristics because you're referring to a behavior or a trait of the animal. Cats possess leadership qualities the most in the animal kingdom. I think this is something which is commonly mistaken. Cats possess leadership qualities the most. Incorrect. Cats possess the most qualities. The most qualities, not the other way around. Or cats possess the best qualities in the animal kingdom. So it's very important to make sure that the words are used accordingly in the sentence, because if you do not, then it sounds awkward. Now, in terms of pronunciation this evening, I must say that many words were pronounced correctly. I would just like to highlight two words which were not pronounced correctly. The first is the word intimidated. Intimidated is 5 sounds, but I thought the speaker only pronounced the 3 sounds and forgot about the last 2 sounds. So it didn't come out right. Intimidated, that's how it should be correctly pronounced. The other word which I thought was incorrectly pronounced, which I thought I should highlight, is the word ethnicity. E-T-H-N-I-C-I-T-I-E-S. So it's not pronounced ethnicities, but ethnicities. Ethnicities. So it's pronounced with an A, not an E. That's the problem with the English language. Ethnicities, A-C, right? The other words were pronounced very well. I thought the word articulate was well done. I also felt that the following was also well done. Perseverance was well done. Hierarchy was well done. Hierarchy. Cinch was used well. There were 3 or 4 times where you used the word cinch. 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 That was well done. And the word unnecessarily. Unnecessarily. Do you understand that? Unnecessarily. Sometimes we may get caught up because there's 7 sounds. And very often we skip the 6th sound or the 5th sound. But unnecessarily was done well. So congratulations to those who pronounce words well. Now let me just go on to a couple more grammar errors. Grammar errors. I still got asked that every time. I still got asked that very time. Awkward. I was still asked every time. The word got should be substituted by was. Right? Got should not be used. It's not a verb to be. The verb to be is was. So I still was asked many times, or I was still asked that many times. Does that mean we have finished with the project speakers? The word finish with the project speakers may be substituted with, does that mean we have concluded with the project speakers? Does that mean that we are completed with the project speakers? We cannot say, does that mean that we are finished with the project speakers? Right? So it's just a verb to be that needs to be taken. All right. Now, finally, for the grammar, the 4 prepositions, I think all of us sometimes mix it up. On, at, in, and on, at, and in. So when you say on the 3rd minute, it's incorrect. It should be at the 3rd minute, right? At the 3rd minute. Right? So we cannot say in the 3 minutes. Should be in the 3 minutes is actually correct in the 3 minutes. But you should say at the 3rd minute, not at the 3 minutes. Right? Do you say in a virtual meeting or at a virtual meeting? At a virtual meeting, not in the virtual meeting, right? Because we are now at the virtual meeting. I, myself, the word myself is redundant. I is enough. I don't have to add myself. Between his and the audience, I think the speaker was missing a wrong pronoun. Between his and the audience, it should be between him and the audience. It's just a slip of the tongue. between him and the audience. Right? Were you able to see any of your audiences? Incorrect, because audience is uncountable. There's no audiences. So were you able to see any of your audience, or better to say, were you able to see any of the members of your audience? And so it's important to try and use the prepositions or the pronouns correctly. Of course, this evening, we had words which I thought I should comment. Fabulous, fantastic Friday. Alliteration, wonderful. Thank you for showing us the tiger in you. Metaphor, wonderful. And I heard so many descriptive adjectives of animals in this table topic session, right? Because every animal had an adjective, and it was a cool, it was a brave animal, it was cool, powerful, loyal, full of vitality, lots of beauty, much activity, elegant, tough, reliable, slow, strong. So you see, when we go to animals, everybody has a word for it. Now, three phrases which I thought was very well done. A wolf in sheep's clothing. Well done. Reignite the animal in us. Well done. Right? And show us the tiger in you. Well done. Well done. Right? So we had a variety of words, a great deal of words, which I thought was well demonstrated, because I heard the word bizarre. Bizarre. I heard the word glorified and magnified. I heard the words thunderous, response, and of course, the alliterations. Cool, confident, cool, and composed was crystal clear, varied, vocal variety. Now, this is times where these words are used that the language evaluator is so happy, so pleased, and so able to say, well done. We have used words in so many different ways that we really know how to craft our words. At Toastmasters meetings, our speeches are it's an art. It's an art. Right? And we must make sure that when we craft that speech, we deliver that speech with the words that we are given and the language that we are using. And this evening, all of us have managed to clearly, confidently, and comfortably use many words, which I feel we ought to emulate. Thank you for a wonderful evening. I think the bonanza is in you. And all of us must remember that all of us can speak English correctly, accurately, and in a way that is understood by everyone, whichever part of the world you come from. Because we are an English-speaking Toastmasters Club. We are not a Singlish-speaking, we are not an Indian-speaking, we are an English-speaking Toastmasters Club. Right. Back to you, Toast General Evaluator.
Thank you, Language Evaluator. Now come to my segment, our General Evaluator. For the timeliness of the meeting starts about 5 minutes late. Table topic masters also have overrun and got to stop it. And now the timing I suppose is about 15 minutes being overrun. So for timeliness, this part need to improve. And I like, and the overall meeting I like is the TMD did very well. She has a very fluid in speaking. The guests are warmly greets during the chat while waiting for the meeting to call in order. I like very much of Lee Bartley that is very spontaneous. Even in a group chat, she's quite she monitor if when the guest got the query, she immediately addressed. This is a good part of it. For preparation wise, I find that it's well prepared in the sense that table topics masters did well. Toastmasters of the day, of course. President's speech, yes, he prepared also. He thought about the trait of the leadership that we can learn from. And the transitions, of course, the Toastmaster of the day did very well. She's fluid in transition to one section to another. Coming to table topic master in detail, I think, Alicia, you did very well. You're very lively. But one thing I like to comment is that your characteristic on the virtual background, we got to strain our eyes. What is that? Unless you swing your head here and there, catch the figure, then we know, oh, that is the animal you want the speaker to speak on. And the various speaker of table topics, I find that everybody shared very well. All of them, that is commentary. General evaluator, for project evaluator, yes, all of y'all have done well and did ask the speakers good recommendation for the speaker to improve on their speeches. Did everybody enjoy the meeting? Yes, the response is yes. And based on the 14th chat, I could say that yes, we are lively, we have fun meeting, and I myself enjoyed the meeting. Things that improve on is that not for the destructive talk for the speaker. Yes, only one voice at the time. Yes, everybody did it, one voice, except this destructive speaker that Angela brought on. Then everybody like that is very destructive. So take note. And for this Singapore online virtual meeting, I could count that it's only because it's 21 participants. So far, it's only 50% virtually being seen. The rest we cannot see. So in this part, I do not know whether it's recommended for everybody to show their faces. Maybe one session, or then the second break another session. Then if you really have those Wi-Fi interactions, maybe can see certain of the section can see everybody, so that everybody get to see everybody. What I recommend. So all in all, I find that I enjoy your chapter meeting very much, and it's a very nice, fun meeting. Although it's late, you have heard my alarm clock ringing just now. So back to you, Toastmaster of the day, Bartley.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator, and all the role players for your invaluable evaluations and reports. Ladies and gentlemen, would you like to know the winners? Please put your hands together for a virtual drum roll. Well, I can do the drum roll. Best table topic speaker goes to Distinguished Toastmaster Adnan Aryarathinan. Best speaker, Toastmaster Angela Lansbury. Best evaluator, we have a double whammy added bonanza. The winner, Distinguished Toastmaster Adnan Aryarathinan. Woohoo! Congratulations to all the winners. And thank you everyone for a fabulous Friday night of Toastmastering. I hope you have enjoyed the night as much as I had. Is character relevant to leadership? Character is fundamental to effective leadership. Good character builds trust. Without trust, people will not follow you. Without followers, one obviously cannot lead. I would like to leave you with this quote from Jesse Robredo before I hand over to the club president for his closing address. The most important ingredient of leadership is character. Most of the proficiencies can be learned, but what's inside you is something that's difficult to change. Over to you, Mr. Club President, Distinguished Toastmaster Willie Lowe.
Thank you, Medal Toastmaster of the Day. The various animals announced by Table Topic Master or BPE Vice President of Education Alicia Chan, where she used animals to relate different character of the leadership, which many of you have learned something tonight. Normally, table topic, we all use quotes, but today she used a different set of ideas. Anyway, she had plenty of ideas. She has shown us that we need to be creative of using different topic instead of the user quotation that show, because this is not an easy table topic to look into it, but she showed us a different character using animals that we should learn for the animals instead. Let me share with you my opening address, the last two. Character is an essential trait of leadership. Character builds trust and credibility, promote loyalties. Leadership is a potential combination of strategy and character. But if you must be PR1, be PR strategy. Many of us who have been a club leader, whether it's the past, present, or even the future, have we really think of taking up roles and not doing anything? Is this leadership or this? Leadership means that you have to get your hands dirty. This is one aspect of leadership. There's many other aspects. Whereas character, when you say you will do it, you do it. You do it. If not, just keep quiet, because as leader, we like to talk a lot, or as a speaker. But sometimes when we did not fulfill, it's like talk only, which the follower will not follow you. So may I encourage everyone to think what you want to do as a leader starting tomorrow or now. That we are here, you are a club leader or a district role, serve the people. If you're a club leader, serve the members' education goals, and eventually it will help to build your club's achievement. Instead of asking them to, we need some point. Actually, when you help the members, why do I say so? Because last few days, one of the members, like Angela Leslie, had problem with pathway. I was so frustrated because it's at 11 p.m. Singapore time. It's almost, I was doing something else. But I just have to be patient, guide her along the way. Eventually, she knows how to submit her awards. She have decided to give to Singapore Online because we are there to help her. So this is called servant leadership. I know it's late at night, but I was so frustrated because but I just continued to help her until she able to do submit her award, and finally contribute to Singapore Life. So do it I mean, some of us will say, it's so late. I just do it and then just finish it with 45 minutes. So this is called character, because I will be very appreciate for the award, but I would like to do it in dignity. Thank you, and have a nice evening, nice morning, afternoon, and evening, and midnight for everyone. Thank you.